Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome again back to the Earth, our mud fossil Gaia. So, the last video I did, I told you guys about the Pistis Sophia and the great dragon that Jesus speaks of, which is the outer darkness. This is him right here. This is his face. He surrounds the whole Earth, and his tail goes back into his mouth right here. And in chapter 127, he says that no soul goes in through the dungeon doors, but in through the mouth of the dragon itself. And so I've been looking down here around the mouth, trying to find some of these dungeon doors that he speaks of, because each one has a door that faces up, and then an angel of the height watches over the door so that the dragons don't mutiny. Well, if he needed to assign watchers, then wouldn't there possibly be a chance of mutiny? Otherwise, why have to do that? So, Enchthonin, he's the first ruler of the first dungeon. He has the face of a crocodile, and his tail is in his mouth. This is who I thought that was to begin with, okay? Right here's his mouth. Looks like something is going in there, and maybe it got broken off here and eroded away. Maybe humans did that. I don't know. But there's even a nice little eye spot in here. And it has a very distinct crocodile-like face. And the body goes all the way around. And underneath this newer landmass over here, and up into his mouth. So I went and was trying to do studying on these islands down here. What they call it is a volcanic arc. And these are the South Sandwich Islands. So I was doing a little Googling, and let me show you what I found. So here's a picture here of Enchthonin, the crocodile face. And so this here's a website that I started to help keep track of all this information I'm finding. You can check it out for yourself. It's mudfossilgaia.backtotheearthnaturals.org. I'll leave a link. And you can come in here and take a closer look at these for yourself. I even left in here a link for you where I got this map from. So the island that we're looking at, they call it Candlemas. Candlemas Island. And when you go to Google Earth, that's the only thing it says is Candlemas. There's no other names on there about this place. So I stumbled upon this, and I'll let you see for yourself. So this is Candlemas Island. This northern landmass here is new. It's only been here since 1823. And they don't have information on how long this landmass has been here. They've never seen any volcanic activity in either of these, but this one has been erupting constantly as of late. So I was looking at these names, of course, and here I am thinking this dragon here is Enchthonin, and right here they've got Lucifer Hill. So if an angel watches over each of these dungeons, it sure would make sense that Lucifer would probably be watching over the first one. So I keep reading, and we've got, Medusa Pool, Gorgon Pool, Kraken Cove, Demon Point, Mount Perseus, Mount Andromeda, Carbon Point, Clapmatch Point, Shrove Point, Boot Rock, yeah, it's probably a boot. So, this Vulcan Point, these are the newer land masses where it's been oozing out for a while now. And Breakbones Plateau, that's a good one. Breakbones Plateau. Okay, so I started doing some reading up on Perseus and Andromeda and the story, and there are a lot of different versions, and there's so much controversy in it all that they don't even know whether it was boots or sandals that he wore, or like some say Bellerophon is a character who later replaced Perseus in some of those stories, so it might have been Perseus that actually defeated the Chimera. So anyway, the story of Perseus, he was sent on a quest to get the Gorgon head, and on his way back he saw Andromeda tied to a rock about to be sacrificed to a sea monster. So he used the Gorgon head to freeze the sea monster and saved Andromeda. And then eventually they had a romance, and long story short, I'm looking at this trying to figure out, he did go to the gates of hell to get the Gorgon head, but Andromeda was not with him, and when he went there, he didn't have the Pegasus yet, because the Pegasus was supposed to have been born when some drops of blood from the Gorgon head came out, and then sprang up a giant and Pegasus. So, anyway, let me show you what I found here on the landmass on Google Earth. Well, let me give you an outline first. Right here we have the Pegasus, out here on what they call Demon Point. I believe they call this Demon Point because on a clear day when you're standing out here and you look out into the water, you can see a frozen sea monster. You see all kinds of tentacles under the water here. Also here in Kraken Cove and Gorgon Pool. So this is definitely a horse, and I think it's Pegasus because these are all feathers, all up here. They named this landmass Mount Perseus. This one here, Mount Andromeda. Right here we have Medusa's pool, and this is Enchthonin circling her pool. And this is the new volcano. It first erupted in 1823, and they named it Lucifer Hill. They say they named it Lucifer Hill because of its red coloring. Okay, sure, maybe that would explain that. But then why Medusa's pool here and Gorgon pool here and Perseus and Andromeda? Boot Rock even, way up in here, Boot Rock. And then they've got Breakbones Plateau right here, where the neck bones would have been broken and sticking out. And there's this big jagged plateau that they named Breakbones Plateau, right next to Lucifer Hill. So I'm trying to find stories, you know, that are actually in Greek mythology about what might have happened here. Because what were they doing back at the gates of hell? That's what I was wanting to know. What are they doing back at the gates of hell? And there's really no actual factual story of what happened to Perseus. Some say he lived out a normal life and a happy life until he died. Others say he was gloating and stared into the or gazed into a pool to show Andromeda the face of the Gorgon, and they were both frozen because it wasn't like his shield that was given to him by Athena to reflect the gaze, and that's how he met his demise there. So I thought, okay, maybe, but why would they be back at the gates of hell, gazing into a pool right here at the gates of hell? So I've been digging and digging, and there really aren't any stories of what actually happens to the Greek gods. They don't really go anywhere, do anything. They kind of fade out, and Christianity gets popular. So I, after digging as much as I could, my YouTube feed started to feed me the Greek god stuff, right? And that's when it started to make sense. I said, that's what happened there. Because in Wrath of the Titans, and I had to even go find out, where did they even get this story from? Well, it's not based. The story is, they say, basically all made up. But it had to come from somewhere, right? Okay, so let me show you here what I found first. These are the names that I found on that website. The people who gave it the names that they did is the UN. So basically, all the world leaders of the whole world helped name this place what it is. So the only thing you can see on Google Earth is it says Candlemas Island here, and this over here is Vindication Island. So I just happened to stumble upon these names, and I still don't know what to think about this. Honestly, this is crazy. It's really crazy, and it took me a minute to soak it all in. But why would they give this place the names that they did? So after all the digging I did into all the stories I could find of these characters and that they've named the place, here's the conclusions I've come to. And then I'll let you help me decide. So, Lucifer Hill, this landmass over here, didn't even exist until 1823 was its first eruption. Why they named this Mount Andromeda and then this Mount Perseus, well, of course, I go looking for a Titan. So ladies first, we have Andromeda. This is her head. You can see her lips here. She was an Ethiopian princess, and she does have some Ethiopian features here, the nose and lips. You can even see a little eye spot here. Her hair is usually up in a really pretty braid that kind of looks like it even flares out here. You can see the neck real well. And she has a very broad chest here. You can see the collarbone. You can see the breast and a nipple. Another breast and another nipple. So that looks like a female giant humanoid to me. And they name it Mount Andromeda. Okay, could be coincidence. Over here we have Mount Perseus. This is his neck, chin. You can see his lips, nose. As you go back in time, you can see it even better, like the nostrils and stuff. Here's his eye. And he's got that winged helmet on that he always has. And I think he's being covered by the feathers from what we have over here. Is a Pegasus. Here's his eye, right there. Okay, and when you're standing out here, I think they named it Demon Point because you can see under the water all these tentacles everywhere that I think could be from the sea monster that Perseus was supposed to have defeated in saving Andromeda. Or it could be anything. It could be anything, but it looks like it would be pretty scary on a clear day. Yeah, they even named this Boot Rock, so that makes me wonder, do they know that he had boots instead of sandals? Why name it Boot Rock? Okay. So, if they're both laying there, then where's the Gorgon, right? Well, here she is, right here. So, what first brought me over here was seeing all these dragon heads over here. These are all like snake face reptilian things. They almost look like dinosaurs trying to crawl off the beach. And what I was first thinking it looked like is a bunch of demons crawling out of Lucifer Hill, out of the volcano to hell, right? I mean, these guys look very reptilian, and you see them on almost every point coming out here. You can even see the scales around this one's eye here, really prominent. Nostrils. Here's another one. You can go down and look at it yourself and go back through time, and it seems like they change a little too. I'll show you one that actually I think moves, but they're everywhere. And then this is Gorgon Pool, and they go all the way around in here, and just like hair would be, right? And I think her eye is right about in here. Nose, mouth, and up here by Lucifer Hill, they call this Breakbones Plateau. Quite a coincidence there in naming, right? Right where there would be broken bones from a severed neck. They're going to name it Breakbones Plateau. Could be a coincidence. Could be. So, Lucifer Hill. I don't even know what to think of this, but who builds a pathway into a volcano? Because that sure does not look like it poured out of the volcano. That looks very symmetrical with little pillars spaced just right. It goes all the way down. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. Medusa's pool, Gorgon pool. They probably named it Medusa's pool because this is where Perseus and Andromeda did meet their demise, and they gazed into the pool. And here she lies now, still gazing into her own pool herself. And it looks like this volcano where her neck was severed, it's like it's even still bleeding. So, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I see. And being that there's a Gorgon head over here, that would help explain also this beautiful stone dragon we have right here. He's so perfectly preserved that he looks like a statue. He looks like he fell out of the Game of Thrones movie onto the beach. Look at these scales, still embedded there in him. All the right parts in all the right places. Here's your eye, snout. If you don't see a dragon laying there, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. That's a dragon. And he's so perfect. All through time even. Let me show you here. See him in red. This one shows his tail really good right here too. Beautiful. Ice dragon. But he's so perfect. It looks like he was actually turned to stone and he's just been laying there stone ever since. And so he's not decaying like a normal like the normal mud fossils do. And I don't know. I mean, you can even see around his eye those beautiful plates of scales they have right around his eye. So, yeah, the Gorgon head might explain why he's so perfect still. But this guy over here, I'm not so sure. The boot rock. And I don't know, I can't really tell if it's a boot or not, but it is about where his foot would be. Maybe his boot fell off. I don't know. I don't know. It could be coincidence, right? Could be. Could be. All right. So this guy here, he looks almost like a gecko face. Here's his nose, his eye, another eye, and he's got this really cool crown around his head, right? Well, watch this. He moves. Not only does he move, but this one moves, and this one moves too. They all three completely change. How that happens, I don't know. I don't know. But right here, he's not looking at you. And then watch this one down here too. Yeah, they completely change. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they are these like lava, rock, molten beings that do crawl out of the gates of hell, just like on the movies, right? And right here, let me show you. Because I'm not even sure what this is that I found here. That looks pretty artificial, man-made, God-made, I don't know, but I didn't know that nature made those kinds of shapes just on the tops of mountains for fun, out in the middle of ice volcanoes, a place that's constantly frozen and on fire, the extreme of extremes. Oh, so, I don't know. Could be coincidence, right? Could be. I don't know. But Pegasus being here would also explain why over on this island I found a chimera. Because Bellerophon, who was later replaced by Perseus in stories, they say he used Pegasus to defeat the chimera. But some people say that Bellerophon is Perseus, so maybe Perseus did defeat this chimera here. But right here we have the lion face, nose, eye. Here's his beautiful mane. Right here we have our serpent face. And these are 3 mountains. They even have names. They did name them. So it's not just shapes in the snow. This is shapes because the snow is on top of these shapes. And here's your goat with the horn and the goat snout. All 3 right there. So that leads me to believe that maybe the story that Bellerophon is Perseus is probably the case. And so I don't know. But I was just looking for the first dungeon ruler, Enchthonin, right here, and I stumbled upon a story of Titans. Real ones, right there. Whether this is the Gorgon head or not, this is a Titan here, okay? But these are all snakes coming out of here, too, so why are they all crawling out of this thing that... No. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. So, yeah, okay. Lucifer Hill. Now, there's a lot of controversy as to whether Lucifer is Kronos, who is Saturn, Satan, or Hades himself, or if Hades was holding on to Lucifer, keeping him in hell for the 1,000 years. So maybe something that happened here was a little bit kind of like where they got the story for this movie here. Because when this guy comes popping up out of the volcano, I sure thought, oh, well, that could probably explain what happened there. So there he is, back at the gates of hell. I don't know. I don't know. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and help me figure this out, because I'm really not sure what to think at this point. So